Gyanvapi Mosque survey row has now snowballed into a mega political showdown. BJP and AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi have locked horns over the issue. Owaisi is now going all guns blazing at the Bharatiya Janata Party, stating that he will not let another mosque get demolished. Lashing out at the Saffron Party, AIMIM chief accused them for using the issue for political gains. Meanwhile, BJP backed the survey and demanded that the truth be revealed. The court's order on Thursday came as a setback for the Mosque Management Committee. As the BJP versus AIM politics speaks, the video survey of the mosque premises will continue and the report will be submitted by May 17.
Court order is wrong. The court cannot go against the Parliament Act of 1991. The court cannot go against the Supreme Court judgment. Why are you doing this survey? What are you trying to come to a conclusion? We have decided as a nation that what religious place existed on 15th of August 1947, period. That's the end of it. That it will remain. You cannot change the nature and character of it.
इस संविधान पापी एसपी इकोसिस्टम को बताना चाहिए कि क्या वो माफी मांगेंगे भड़काने वाली राजनीति करने पर, क्योंकि बार बार उनका चाल चरित्र चेहरा ये बन चुका है। कोर्ट का फैसला हिजाब पर आता है, ये भड़काने की राजनीति करते हैं। कोर्ट का फैसला लाउड स्पीकर पर आता है, ये भड़काने की राजनीति करते हैं। तो इस प्रकार से हम जो सर्वे नहीं करवाएंगे, हम कागज़ नहीं दिखवाएंगे, हम बुलडोज़र नहीं चलवाएंगे, हम लाउड स्पीकर नहीं उतरवाएंगे, ये जो संविधान पापी मंडली है, जो संविधान के विरुद्ध जाकर वोट बैंक के नाम पर देश के टुकड़े टुकड़े करना चाहती है, आज उनके चेहरे पर।
Big win for Hindu petitioners in the Gyanvapi Mosque survey case. A Varanasi court has given the go-ahead to resume survey of the mosque. The court appointed one more special commissioner, Vishal Singh, along with existing commissioner Ajay Kumar Mishra for the survey. An assistant commissioner, Ajay Pratap Singh, has also been added to the team.
जांच होगी, अगर किसी कारणवश ये लोग रोकते हैं तो ताला तोड़ करके जांच होगी।
और क्या कहा गया जब मुस्लिम पक्ष की तरफ से क्या दलील दी गई आप लोग जब
मुस्लिम पक्ष के बारे में हम लोग कुछ नहीं मानते, हम लोग अपने पक्ष के बारे में।
आप लोग खुश हैं आप डिसीजन से?
बिल्कुल, बहुत बड़ी जीत हुई हम लोगों की। जो चाह रहे थे वही हुआ।
ताला खोलने और तोड़ने तक की जो आदेश है वो जारी कर दिए गए हैं। 8 बजे से लेकर 11 बजे तक कमीशन कार्रवाई होगी। जब तक पूरी नहीं हो जाएगी निरंतर चलती रहेगी। 17 तारीख को रिपोर्ट पेश की जाएगी।
Many local residents of Varanasi welcomed the verdict.
हम लोग खुशी हैं कि पक्ष में हमारे ही पक्ष में फैसला आएगा। आप अंदर क्यों नहीं जाने दे रहे हैं? आप अंदर जाइए, वीडियोग्राफी करें। आपको क्या दिक्कत हो रहा है? क्या डर लग रहा है आपको? अगर आपको लग रहा है कि गलत है तो फिर सही है। अगर आपका मस्जिद आप फिर डरते क्यों हैं?
And so did the right-wing leaders.
ज्ञानवापी मामले में जिस प्रकार से माननीय कोर्ट ने जो आदेश दिया है बहुत ही सराहनीय है, मैं इसका सराहना करता हूं। ये जो जिहादी मानसिकता के लोग हैं उनको सबसे बड़ा एक कालिख पूतने का काम किया और माननीय कोर्ट ने ये वो कर दिया कि जो उन्होंने कमेटी बनाई थी वो बिल्कुल सही था।
The BJP, which has so far kept a distance from the controversy, has also welcomed the verdict.
The verdict in Gyanvapi case is a big vindication for those who are for Samvidhan and video survey, and a big slap on the face of those who in the name of Gyanvapi were actually Samvidhan Papi.
Earlier, India Today spoke to the videographer who actually saw what was on the site.
कमल देखा और फूलों की लड़ियां देखी जो फूल ऐसे बने होते हैं, और ठीक सामने वाली दीवार पे अंदर की तरफ घंटा भी टंगा हुआ है।
The survey of the Gyanvapi Mosque has been allowed on a petition filed by 5 women demanding daily prayers at the Gaudi Shringar temple next to the masjid. Sangh Parivar outfits have often maintained Kashi and Mathura are the next goals after winning Ayodhya Ram Janmabhoomi dispute. Are the slew of petitions in Kashi and Mathura a prelude to another Mandir movement? With Preeti Chaudhary and Samar Srivastava from Varanasi, Bureau Report, India Today.
Karnataka government cracks down on religious conversions. The Basavaraj Bommai government passed the anti-conversion law by executive order after a cabinet meet on Thursday. The BJP-led government decided to take this route as the Legislative Assembly and Council were not in session. The bill is aimed at preventing conversion by means of allurement, coercion, force and fraud. mass conversion also comes under the bill. The bill also proposes imprisonment of 3 to 5 years with a fine of 25,000 rupees for forced conversion. The bill states that conversion of minors, women or SC/ST, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe will attract a jail term of 3 to 10 years with a 50,000 rupees fine. The bill was passed in December 2021, but was pending passage in the Legislative Council, where the ruling BJP is one short of a majority. Karnataka Congress Chief D.K. Shivakumar has questioned the government's haste and the need for passing the law through an ordinance. Karnataka has now become the 4th BJP-ruled state to get an anti-conversion law.
ಆ್ಯಂಟಿ-ಕನ್ವರ್ಷನ್ ನಾವು ಈಗ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲು ಅದು ಅಸೆಂಬ್ಲಿ ರೋಗ ಆಗಿದ್ದರಿಂದ ಅದನ್ನು ಆರ್ಡಿನೆನ್ಸ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ತರುವಂಥದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಕ್ಯಾಬಿನೆಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತಾರೆ.
Anti-conversion bill, government is hurry means it is already decided in the assembly. It have been discussed and it is already discussed and decided in the this one of assembly. So they may be not in a hurry. No, that may be, see, the government is run by the number of the assembly, not from the council. So government have a mandate, so the government has decided to do that bill. So there.
Now staying with the Karnataka state, the infighting within the Congress party rages on after former Congress, member Divya Spandana alleged that Karnataka Congress leaders and volunteers have been asked to troll her on Twitter. Congress leader MB Patil has come out in support of her, saying that Divya Spandana's opinions are in the best interest of the party. He went on to say that some in the Congress party have spoken out of turn to demean Divya Spandana. The Congress Neta also urged all party men and women to end the controversy and focus on the larger mission, that is the elections. The controversy erupted after State Congress Chief D.K. Shivakumar alleging that Education Minister Ashwath Narayan met Congress leader MB Patil seeking protection from the sub-inspector recruitment scam. Slamming D.K. Shivakumar over his remarks, Divya Spandana tweeted that people across parties meet each other, go to functions, and some even get married into families. Now, as the party goes through a massive turmoil, the Congress top brass will be in a huddle in Udaipur for a meeting to give the party a new direction. After a series of poll reverses, the meet aims at a revamp of the party. In attendance will be over 400 Congress netas who will find ways to be battle ready for the upcoming election challenges. Along with brainstorming over the roadmap for the party, the meeting will see key discussions on 6 topics: politics, organization, economy, social welfare, youth and agriculture. The demand to bring back Rahul Gandhi at the helm of the party is likely to be raised in the meeting. Over 400 leaders, including members of parliament, MLAs, MLCs and office bearers and 50 others have been invited by the Congress president for the meet.
किसी रेलवे स्टेशन पर इस तरह की बोगी शायद ही आपको नजर आती हो जिसमें लिखा हो पार्टी कोच। हम लोग हैं सराय रोहिल्ला रेलवे स्टेशन पर और यहाँ पे आप देखिए कि पार्टी कोच जा रहा है। 2 कोच बुक किए गए हैं, INC 1 और INC 2। यहाँ नजर आ जाएगा आपको तमाम नेता, नगरी के लोग, कांग्रेस के नेता घुस रहे अंदर। राहुल गांधी किसी भी वक्त आने वाले हैं और जो एक तरीके से नव संकल्प चिंतन शिविर उदयपुर में हो रहा है, उसको लेके यात्रा शुरू हो रही है। एक रेल यात्रा राहुल गांधी कर रहे हैं और उनके साथ उनकी पार्टी के तमाम दिग्गज नेता भी जा रहे हैं। खाने का भी सामान है, बाकी सारी व्यवस्था भी है और कोशिश ये है कि इस चिंतन शिविर के जरिए कांग्रेस की नैया को साधा जाए और 2024 की लड़ाई के लिए तैयार किया जाए। बेहद दिलचस्प देखना होगा कि आखिर कांग्रेस आने वाली चुनौती को किस तरह से उसका सामना करती है।
चिंतन शिविर कांग्रेस का होना एक मायने रखता है, इसलिए पूरे देश के हमारे डेलीगेट्स आ रहे हैं। मीडिया इतनी बड़ी संख्या में आ रहा है, आप समझ रही है कितना इम्पोर्टेंट चिंतन शिविर है। राहुल गांधी जी को अध्यक्ष बनने के लिए लंबी समय से मांग होती जा रही, नई बात नहीं है। हर वर्किंग कमेटी में लोग सब डेलीगेट सब मेंबर ही कहते हैं। तो मैं समझता हूँ कि राहुल गांधी जी को खुद को बन जाना चाहिए अध्यक्ष, से मेरा मानना है।
Terrorists fired at an employee of the Revenue Department in Bargam district of Jammu and Kashmir on Thursday. The victim, a Kashmiri Pandit, sustained serious injuries and was rushed to a hospital in Srinagar where he died a little while later. Members of the Kashmiri Pandit community took to the streets in different parts of the Union territory to protest. Here's more.
A targeted terror attack on a Kashmiri Pandit in Jammu and Kashmir's Budgam. Rahul Bhatt, a state government officer, was shot at point-blank range in his office. Rushed to hospital, Bhatt died of gunshot injuries.
हमारा घर ही खत्म हो गया, खानदान ही खत्म हो गया, अब क्या बोले हम? ये तो सब वही पोजीशन है। 90 में तो हम जान बचाकर आ गए थे यहाँ। बड़ी गलती की जो हम अपने बच्चों को वहाँ बेच गए और वहाँ लाशें आती है, क्योंकि वहाँ मिलिटेंसी का माहौल है, वो चुन चुन कर अब मार रहे हैं।
Angry Kashmiri Pandits blocked the Srinagar-Jammu highway at Vesu Qazigund, demanding justice for Rahul. Jammu and Kashmir BJP blamed Pakistan-backed terrorists for the killing.
इन कायर आतंकवादियों को जमीन के पाताल से भी निकालकर इनको मौत के घाट उतारेंगे। पाकिस्तान ने हमेशा कश्मीर को और कश्मीरियों को बर्बाद किया है।
Former Chief Minister Farooq Abdullah urged the government to take action, even as Congress blamed the administration for not protecting Kashmiri Pandits.
जितने भी हमारे वहाँ ये जो माइनॉरिटी के एम्प्लॉइज है उनको भी बहुत डर लग गया होगा। तो लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर साहब को फौरन जम्मू से श्रीनगर जाना चाहिए और वहाँ पे इन लोगों की उम्मीद दिलानी चाहिए कि कुछ हम लोग आपके पूरा एहतियात खबरदार और ख्याल रखेंगे। बार बार कहते हैं सरकार कि यहाँ सब स्थिति ठीक है, अब आप देखिए खुद ही कि गवर्नमेंट दफ्तर में घुस के वो अगर उसको मार सकते हैं तो स्थिति कहाँ ठीक है।
Rahul Bhatt is the latest victim of attacks pinpointed on Kashmiri Pandits. Deepak Chand was killed by terrorists at a school in Srinagar on October 7, 2021. A few days before that, Makhan Lal Bindru, a popular chemist in Srinagar, was shot dead on October 5, 2021. On September 17, 2021, a constable Bantu Sharma was killed in Kulgam district. And on June 8, 2020, a Sarpanch, Ajay Pandita, alias Bharti, was gunned down in South Kashmir's Anantnag. The killings of Pandits comes as efforts are made for the return to the valley, and the administration claiming that Kashmir is safe and secure. Bureau Report, India Today.
Four-time Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has taken over as the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, bringing a temporary end to the political impasse in the country. Meanwhile, the locals are bearing the brunt with cost of essentials skyrocketing in Sri Lanka. Here's a report.
A temporary relief to the political impasse in Sri Lanka. Veteran Ranil Wickremesinghe was sworn in as a Prime Minister to try and steer the island nation out of its economic mess. A four-time Prime Minister, Ranil replaces Mahinda Rajapaksa, who was unceremoniously ousted earlier this week. Mahinda, blamed for creating economic turmoil, has taken refuge at the Trincomalee naval base. He and his loyalists have been barred from leaving the country. Protesters have abated after shoot-at-sight orders and strict curfew. A brief respite was given for people to buy essentials.
If you think that these vehicles have been halted because of a traffic jam, well, you're mistaken. This is the traffic, the queue for filling petrol and diesel into their vehicles. What we are seeing here in Sri Lanka is immense shortage of fuel, and vehicles have to wait for hours together to get their petrol tanks filled. We're seeing here on the pavements, two-wheelers have been parked and people have been waiting for hours together, hoping that they will be able to get at least a little bit of fuel to ensure that they can go about with their day-to-day activities. This is one of the tragic scenarios that we're seeing in Sri Lanka since this economic crisis that started.
I've been here since last night, and just a couple of minutes ago only we managed to get a fuel tank, and so unfortunate situation for Sri Lankans because we are wasting our valuable time.
Prices of fruits and vegetables have gone up and people are facing the brunt.
We're being told that cabbages are sold for around 400 rupees, which was earlier around 200. And similarly, we're being told that beans is being sold for 550 rupees, which was earlier only around 400 or 350 rupees.
பிரச்சனை வராம இருக்குமா அண்ணனடா கொண்டு போய் ரொம்ப கஷ்டப்படுறாங்களே எங்களுக்கு தொழில் பாதிச்சு எல்லாமே பாதிப்பா இருக்கு அப்ப எப்படிமா நாங்க ஜீவிக்கிறது
एवरीथिंग इज वेरी हाई पूरा सामान बहुत हाई है सामान लेने के लिए आदमी का बहुत मुश्किल है तो पूरा आदमी का इधर काम नहीं.
But Lanka remains on the edge. Spiraling prices, fuel and food shortage has crippled the country. New Prime Minister Vikram Singhe has a huge task on his hands to put the country back on rails. With Akshayanath in Colombo, Bureau Report, India Today.
The Indian men's badminton team has scripted history as they made it to the semi-finals of the Thomas Cup for the first time in 43 years. India have now assured themselves of at least a bronze. World Championships bronze winner Lakshya Sen couldn't go the distance in the opening singles, losing 21-23, 9-21 to reigning world champion Lee Zijia in 46 minutes. But Chirag Shetty and Satwik Sairaj Ranikareddy took to the court and the duo dished out a superlative performance to outwit world number 13 Malaysian pair 21-19, 21-15 to bring India back in the 5-match tie. Next, it was Kidambi Srikanth who defeated NG Zayong 21-11, 21-17 to give India a 2-1 lead, and then the Indian duo of Krishna Prasad and Vishnuvardhan produced a good effort before losing 19-21, 17-21 as the match went into the decider. In the end, it was world number 23 HS Pranoy's 21-13, 21-8 win over 22-year-old Junhao Leong, assuring India's semi-final berth. Earlier, Indian women's team crashed out of the Uber Cup, losing 0-3 to Thailand.